So LG has launched their flagship smartphone. This is fantastic. In fact, this is the best news I've heard this month, or in fact this year, because if you guys that are new to my channel don't know this, I'm an LG fanatic. I love LG smartphones. Particularly, I have a soft spot for all their mobile devices, regardless of some of the flaws that they have, which I'll probably go over here and give you guys the rundown of the new smartphone that we are looking at right now. So LG for some time now had some bad rep per se for some of these access media that talk about their products and never really give it the hype that it deserves, and it's for the wrong reasons. Now I can understand that most of the time LG has their issues that they fail to fix in most of their updates that they do every year, but I think they have really brought the heat with the V60. So the V60 just launched yesterday, and it's packing a lot of stuff. Now, as it's packing a lot of new stuff, it is actually taking a little bit of the older stuffs and kind of like stepping it down a notch. Now, the screen resolution you are getting with this variant is a little bit different from what you got last year. Last year had a much more larger resolution. So in terms of the screen, you're getting full vision 2460 by 1080p, and it has a 395 ppi, which is good enough. Honestly, I really do not care for higher screen resolution most of the time, but if it is good looking, I'm fine with that. I'm actually using the LG V30 making this content that you guys are seeing right now, and the screen looks beautiful, honestly, and it's a 2017 flagship. So honestly, I have loved the LG devices, and I don't really care whatever screen they throw on their devices. They always look fantastic to me. So you're getting a 6.8 inch display. It's almost as big as a 6.9 inch display on the Samsung Galaxy 20 Ultra, so S20 Ultra. So there's just a bit of a difference, but it's actually quite large. 6.8 POLED Full HD. Now it comes with an external foldable screen that you can actually attach your LG V60 to give you a dual display. You are getting the latest Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 with an Adreno 650 in this model. It's coming with the latest X55 5G modem, so you will be able to get 5G, but on the slower version, like, because there are two types of 5G. The faster version, which is not really in circulation right now because of the frequency broad coverage. It's not just there, it's just for a certain area that, you understand, it covers in America and some other countries, but you get 5G, but it's not going to be as fast as the other variant of 5G. The internal memory storage is optional. You can either get it in 120 gigabytes internal storage or 256 gigabyte internal storage. You can as well get 8 gigs of RAM, which is a default RAM for both storage capacity. The UFS model you're getting, this is 2.1, not 3.0. So it may not be the fastest drive, but it is very fast. You understand, guys? It's very fast. Now it still comes with a memory card expansion slot. You can expand it to 2 terabytes. Some of their previous model kind of had a limit of, I think, 512. So it's actually a great thing that you can expand this one with a micro SD card up to 2 terabytes. They, as for cameras, they actually stepped down their camera number from last year that they had around 3. No, last year they had around 3 at the back, and I think 1 at the front. So this year they actually they brought it down to 2 at the back. So they have the main 64 megapixel standard f 1.8 lens, and the super wide 13 megapixel for ultra wide video capture. And for the front facing camera, you're getting a standard 10 megapixel that can actually shoot 4K. This is going to be the first time an LG device can shoot 4K with the front facing camera. It was not there in their LG G8 last year. It was not there in their LG V50 or even their LG G8X last year. So this is the first time we are getting a flagship from LG that can shoot 4K 30 frames per second with the front facing camera. Now, as for the back camera, you can shoot up to 8K, but it's capped at 26 frames per second. Now, I know some people say it's 24 frames, but on the specs sheet from what LG is saying, it's 26 frames, but for just let's be real, it's actually 24 frames per second, just like every other people that have had their hands on the device. So it's actually 24 frames to a degree. You are getting 5,000 milliamps battery with this, and coming with a default Android 10. I think it's a fantastic device. It looks exactly like the V50 from last year, and more so like the Samsung S10 Plus. If you have the S10 Plus, in fact, if you take away the logo from the back of the LG V60, you probably confuse it for the S10 Plus from last year. So the design doesn't really look very unique per se. It looks just like what Samsung has launched last year. So it's not really so much of a big deal in design, but the way they built it, they made it with glass and steel, I think steel frame. So it is fantastic. And another really cool thing about the V60 that I like out of all the flagships I've been seeing this year is that it is coming in a color that I am very well going to buy, and that is white. It's coming with, it's a clear, it's coming in white, clear, they call it clear white, and it looks fantastic. It looks gorgeous. It is amazing. Like, honestly, most of my smart devices that I've been buying all the years, from my years of Nokia, BlackBerry to Nokia to LG devices that I'm using right now, I've always been a white guy. Now, granted, the LG device I'm using right now is black because there was no white variant. So I'm very happy that this is coming in white variant, which already has enticed me to put a plan down that I'm going to buy this device. And it's actually a content creator's device. So it is a fantastic device for content creation. Now, as for some of the main thing that has been an LG, more or less a tradition for LG smartphone, is their quad DAC. Now, let me reiterate something. The quad DAC in this has been upgraded. A lot of people that have been doing the hands-on have not really explained very well what the quad DAC in this model can do. It is quite different from the older quad DACs. Now, I am going to say what is on paper. It's not what probably would be real, like when you get a real hands on the device, but the quad DAC comes with a proprietary LG sound 3D sound engine. So what it does is that there is already a quad DAC. Now, I do not know the chip model for the quad DAC, because the quad DAC model in their V30 and V40 lineup, I think even in their V50 lineup as well, but I couldn't check last year's model, is the ESS Saber 9218P chipset. So they had about 4 of that in their V30, which I have, their V40 lineup. Now, in their V40 and G8X, they actually expanded the audio capability to give you enhancement of surround sound by incorporating DTS:X up mixer in their devices from a year and a year ago and 2 years back. So this model is coming now with a better up mixer called their 3D sound engine from LG. So what that does now is that it maps audio properly to the content that you're listening. So take for instance, if you are streaming YouTube content, it may not be giving you the same performance as like when you are just playing a movie and you are just getting the whole sound, surround sound that you would have been getting from their older up mixers. So it now tunes the sound to the content you are listening to. If you're listening to stereo, regular YouTube or TV or news content, it's going to play it in a way that it gives you the best representation of what that thing is supposed to be like. And this particular 3D engine is in their OLED display, their flagship OLED display. So it's not like it's a technology that they just invented for their smartphone. It's already in their OLED display, and it's now going to come officially to their smart device, which is fantastic. Honestly, if you ask me, it is fantastic. The chipset for the quad DAC, I will get the information for that, and when I do, I will make another content, because I'm really intrigued with this model, because I am going to buy this model probably by the end of the year. I would at least let the price go down a little bit before I buy it, but I am interested in this model, especially the white variant. I probably get the 128 gigs, if I see a good deal on the 256 gig, I probably get that as well. Because LG devices tend to drop in price quicker than other manufacturers in the premium side of things. So I have a confident belief that they will drop the price by the end of the year, maybe to half of whatever they want to charge. And talking about the price, it is going to be a lot cheaper than the entry-level Galaxy S20. So the Galaxy S20, the lowest is $1,000, $999 basically. So this could be at least $899 or $950, and I presume it should be $899, because if it gets to $950, I think a lot of people may be swayed to buy the new Sony Xperia 1 Mark II, because that one is coming at the $950 price point. So I think it would be wise for LG to start out at $899, because they will already catch the entire market, and a lot of people will be interested in buying the product right off the bat. I think that should be fantastic. Honestly, I'm happy with the new launch. It's not coming with a higher screen refresh rate like you see on the Samsung, Huawei, OnePlus, and all these other devices. You're still getting 60 frames, 60 hertz display. It's not 90 hertz, it's not 120 hertz, but just regular 60 hertz, which I think it's fine, as long as it saves battery and I get to use the battery well without it killing that battery quickly, because higher screen refresh rates kill battery a lot quicker than standard refresh rate, guys. So guys, this is basically the rundown of what you'll be getting with the LG V60. Leave your comment in the comment section and let's chat about this new launch. I'm an LG fan. I normally don't talk about any other smartphone on this channel apart from LG devices, because I feel they are underrated. LG is a brand that has been underrated for a long time, and they need to be noticed because they produce the best device for the money. And for the fact that they drop their prices on their devices quicker than most manufacturers and give people bang for your buck. Heck, LG G8, a year ago flagship, is at least $250 right now on AliExpress. It's actually $250. So they actually give you a great deal. For $250, you're getting the 855 Snapdragon series. Say what you want about LG, they are still good. Like, they are still great. And on the LG G8, you can actually upgrade it to the Android 10, if I'm not mistaken. It's already been out since December. So I think it's fantastic. Granted, they don't release software updates as quick as other manufacturers like Samsung, Huawei, OnePlus, but they are doing their best. I feel they deserve recognition, especially for their audio prowess and their video prowess on their devices. Now, one more thing before I close this video, this device is going to come with 4 microphones, which should be the first ever on a smart device. So the 4 microphones will give you what we call a bokeh mode, that pans the audio to you, basically, or takes the audio that you're recording and that cancels out the ambient noise more or less to focus on only your audio, especially if you're in a rowdy environment. So basically, it gives you the best or the clearest sound it can give you, as compared to your device. Now, it may sound good on paper, but I'll probably, when I get it, maybe when other reviewers of getting it for in-house review, we'll see how it pans out and whether it's a good improvement as they claim. So guys, this is the LG V60 rundown. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to our channel, follow us on social media, and I'll see you guys on the next one.